Hey everybody, and welcome back to Elden Ring. Last time we went up into I was gonna say northwest Liurnia, but it's actually just north Liurnia on the map here. It's the northernmost thing in the place, and did Caria Manor. By did, I mean we went through and fought the boss and went beyond. You'll understand. We then talked to Ranni the Witch and joined her service, which you may not have expected us to do, but we're doing it so that we can search for the curse mark's location on her body, which she has discarded, and now she lives in a doll. Don't ask me how that works. This is just the Lands Between rules. This time, I'm afraid we won't really be returning to this for a little while. I'll probably just do it briefly. There isn't much to see up here anyway. I'll probably just do it briefly later. There is also something extra in Caria Manor that I don't believe we have seen. I'll try to slot that in somewhere, but right now, I'm way too excited to just go down the freaking Siofra River well at long last and get to exploring this place. So, let's do it. We discovered this all the way back in episode 3, and I'm sure you all have been waiting with bated breath, as Kenneth Haidt would say, to return. I'll reiterate from last time, if you thought Ainsel River was cool, which it was, you ain't seen nothing yet. Siofra is like 100 times better. Take a closer look at that snout. I don't know why that video was like everywhere, I guess. People just love making memes on the most random things. Here you go. If you don't change your camera's view, this is the view you get. Oh my god, it looks so cool. Never mind the fact that the chapel looks like it came from PlayStation 1. It's because it's a low poly model. You're not supposed to look that close at it. Y'all probably can't even tell that, so why did I say that? Immersion ruined. I love the night sky aesthetic with stars that aren't really stars. They're floating orbs of some kind, but it looks like a night sky. I don't know, It's so freaking cool. I already am a huge fan of the sunken city, underground temple, or whatever aesthetic, and Siofra River has that in spades. Yeah, no wonder it's one of my favorite areas in this game, if not my favorite area in this game. First improvement right off. My bad, had to step a little away from the elevator before you can call upon your horse. Yeah, you can summon Torrent to Siofra River. It's already better than Ainsel for that exact reason. I patrolled out here a little bit back in episode 3, so I think I've already cleared this place out, but I'm just making sure I haven't missed anything. There's a poor unlit sconce out here with a poor guy who probably died next to it, and I probably pilfered some loot way back then and didn't remember. Sorry, man, you're just not the most memorable thing in the game. I also got something from there. Oh yeah, because I was briefly going into this temple to show the enemies, which we can now properly fight, as I demonstrated in Ainsel. It's more the stone guys, the same ones from Ainsel. There's gonna be a lot of stuff carrying over from Ainsel, or perhaps a lot of stuff from Ainsel carrying over to this. I don't know which one was made first or second. Yeah, there's nothing new to see here. I think I might ignore the enemies for the most part, as I have been over. They are kind of slow, kind of boring to fight. They're not the most exciting thing in the world, so instead, let's go pick up a golden centipede. Way more exciting, clearly. This is the type of content you all want, right? Picking up golden centipedes in random rooms? Oh my god, I can ignore them even more easily now with Torrent. There is like a long-standing, no. There's an often repeated criticism of this game that it's perhaps a bit too easy to run past things in the open world because you have Torrent. And the Legacy dungeons, it's not. It returns back to the normal Souls game thing where you can run past them. It's just a bit risky if you do, because it's possible you could get cornered and killed that way. I think it's been like less and less likely to happen as the games have gone on. Because like I'm watching someone play through Dark Souls 1 recently, and I am surprised at how small the corridors and stuff in that game is, or was rather. And in the recent games, they've opened stuff up a hell of a lot more. Why did you spark red? Were you trying to leave me? I need that one flask that I used up to heal an eighth of my health bar. Come on, I need you. But yes, I can see where these people are coming from. Personally, I'm fine with it if it means I get to explore the open world faster. And I mean, even if it weren't for Torrent, you would be able to run away from enemies pretty easily on foot, especially if they had limited follow range. Anyway, enough of that. Check out how you can climb on top of the ruins. Something you would never dream of in the previous games. Speaking of the previous games. God, the jump, man. I can't praise it enough. It has added so much extra room to all the map spaces in the game. Hello, you are only 2 guys. I assume I can probably attack you. There's that bubble. I'm gonna stay away from that while I go attack your friend. Then I'm gonna stay away from him while he shotguns me with bubbles. Ah, okay, I didn't watch out for the bubbles. I was trying my best to avoid the bubbles, and I was even kind of mocking him for it, and then I got hit in the face by his bubble. So, shows what I know. Oh. I didn't notice that. They melt into a rocky sludge when you kill them. Weird. 8 throwing daggers. Real exciting loot. I say this every time I pick up 8 throwing daggers. Yeah, I'm sure there's many people who have found a lot of fun use out of throwing daggers. It's a ranged attack. You can't aim it like you can with a bow. Hang on. That's way too far a jump to go on foot. You need torrent for this. I wonder if someone ended up, like, going all throughout this place. There's nothing here. Amazing. I wonder if someone ended up going all throughout Siofra River without knowing you could summon torrent. If they discovered Einzel and you couldn't summon torrent the entire time in there, and so they thought it was the same thing here, but it wasn't really. That looks kind of like a Lord Vessel from Dark Souls. Could be a reference. There's a lot of stuff in Elden Ring that do reference previous From Software games, so if you're thinking, no, it couldn't possibly be a reference to a different franchise, nah, it might be. Hello. This game has often been described as like the culmination of all of From Software's previous games. I missed the item terribly. Be right back. Hold on, Oracle Bubbles. We have a description to read first. Sorcery of the Claymen. They're clay, not stone, who served as priests in the ancient... Okay, the voice acting in this game pronounces it as Dynasty. I don't like it. I'm personally going to say Dynasty, so if that's wrong, I hope you understand. There's an enemy after me. Produces several small magical bubbles that drift towards foes before they naturally pop. Charging decreases the delay before the bubbles pop. The Claymen search for lost oracles within their bubbles. I guess they're looking at the bubbles so they can find their oracles, because they're shaped like O's. Did you try to climb up after me, sir? You are surprisingly dedicated, but it seems to have been revealed I didn't climb up that way, so no, you're just on that stone for fun, I guess. Hey, Golden Centipede, more exciting content for you. Sorry to keep you waiting, it's just Golden Centipedes aren't that common in this game, you understand. Hey, you remember when I was gonna cut this out? Now I figured out why my last 2 videos were above an hour and 40, even though I wasn't intending them to be. Sorry about that, I'm gonna die. Ah, you can skip the ruins completely by going this path. Cool. Please, for the... Oh my fucking... Three silver pickled feet. That's what I did all that for. That's what I failed the jump a million times and even died trying to reach. I knew it was gonna be something useless, but like, okay. I could have at least been a unique spell, unique weapon, maybe a smithing stone, but there was a unique spell right next to it, so I understand. Torrent? Torrent doesn't want to leave me. I'm clicking the left stick and he's not going away. There we go. I'm trying to get this, which you have to stand on the fence to do for some reason. One more place to find down here, and then we'll head on to the main part of Siofra. I know, we're not at the main part of Siofra yet. It's kind of weird. I've been spending this long. Oh, wow, these guys are forming out of the clay that they melt into when they die. Cool. I'm gonna kill you because you have runes. Unlike everyone else, that definitely drops 0 runes at all. I didn't know you could do that. That's good to know. 600 runes. The other guys probably dropped 23. In fact, let me test. Excuse me. Fuck spears. They always go just a little bit longer than you think they should. 120. Yeah, those glowy-eyed enemies are a big jump up in rune counts from the non-glowy-eyed enemies. Was trying to not make that full of a bunch of words, but I failed. You know, this drab outfit kind of doesn't fit, so while we're on the elevator ride, or once we reach the top, because then we might be presented with a cool view that I'd be distracting you from, so let's see if that's the case first. Yeah, that's a pretty cool view, but you've seen it. Meh. The blue goes well with it, but I think Carian Knight would be better. Yeah, Carian Knight looks pretty good with this place. I have worn this outfit before, but I don't have a whole lot of new ones that I'm interested in wearing right now. I do have the Finger Maiden set, which I think I got... No, the episode before that. Man, you can tell this playthrough's getting long when I'm struggling to remember what happened like 2 videos ago. Wait, what? Is there an invader? No torrent allowed in this room. This one room. Everywhere else, though, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, there's no invader. Preserving boluses. That's what you need for scarlet rot. Very cool. I wonder if we're about to enter an area with scarlet rot. Well, hopefully not anytime soon. 3 beast livers. What is shining on the water there? There should be nothing shining on the water. It's fine. It's probably because my graphic settings are lower than the average. It isn't a problem to anyone else who plays with higher graphic settings. I was playing Dark Souls 3 yesterday, and I noticed that in the view from Vort's platform in High Wall of Lothric, where the Fair and Keep flames are supposed to be all lit up, they weren't for me, strangely. I'm not really sure what was going on there. That was kind of weird. It was like it could have been just an odd visual bug, but I wasn't sure. I mean, I played the game on this channel. I explicitly showed that view multiple times for the sake of showing off the world's layout, so it's like, the fact that they weren't lit was kind of weird. It's like the game was finally compensating for the fact that you snuffed them out later in the game, but except it was way too early, because that was at the beginning of a new playthrough I started yesterday. Okay, enough about that. Look at this! Yeah, open world games have peaked. There are similar visual styles in other games. I remember seeing a clip of Skyrim, someone going through some cool mushroom cave that I don't know if it's vanilla or modded. I hope it's vanilla because it looks really cool, but man, this is just like the peak of open world games to me. This is like, I just don't think it's gonna get any better than this. No matter what Tears of the Kingdom has in store for me. I still have yet to play that. I will eventually. I have it. But I don't know. I'm kind of like in the middle of playing 50 games at the same time. I'm also playing Super Mario Galaxy, which is awesome, by the way. So yeah, I'm kind of distracted with that. Hello, blue ghost version of the enemies we fought up in Liurnia. You are more ancestral followers, yet you're ghosts this time. And I don't know why. I really don't know why they're ghosts here, because small spoiler alert, in another part of Siofra River, you find fully physical, real ancestral followers. So why are the ones here ghosts? I don't know. Either way, they're the same enemies. I did 420 damage to them. Blaze it. And that was a kill. I wasn't actually expecting that to be a kill. Armorer's Cookbook 6. Stay tuned for the next issue of Armorer's Cookbook, where you can craft preserving boluses. That is good. I'm glad I found that. I totally didn't remember which cookbook gave you those. So yeah, very cool. Back on Torrent we go. Let us explore this place. So if you don't remember, last time when we met Ronnie and entered her service, she sent us down here, or well, she sent us to look for hidden treasure in Nokron Eternal City. Blythe is currently looking for Nokron Eternal City, and he's taking a search down here since it's apparently somewhere under Limgrave. And I don't know about you, this kind of looks city-like, ancient city-like, but pretty city-like. So this is a good place to start looking. While I pick up some melted mushrooms as souvenirs, you know. I gotta keep them in my house as decoration. You know, the house that I definitely have. You know, that's something I want to say. The next freaking From Software game, whether it's Elden Ring DLC or what, give us an option to have a house in these games. I like to know what it's like to live in these worlds. Give us a house that we can buy. I know that basically in every From Software game, the world is falling apart. You shouldn't want to live there, but I don't know. Look at this place. I want to live here. Or do I? Maybe not having daytime come around every day would start to get a little bit tiring for me. I'm not really sure. Okay, I guess that's why they're ghosts, so that they can ambush you by spawning out of thin air. That's really the only reason. You have this. Light Flame. Yeah, let's mess with some ancient obelisk. That'll go well. Oh god, yeah. Yeah, this guy didn't want us doing that. I wonder why he didn't attack me any sooner. Was he just slowly creeping up behind me? If so, that was very excellent timing, sir. You've got great comedic timing. You were great for footage in this playthrough. That's the highest order that enemies from this game can hope to achieve. So you did it. Great job. Okay, there is a much better place to demonstrate what lighting that thing actually did, and that's with this one out here in the water. You notice those stairs over there? Notice how it's surrounded by 8 pillars. And notice how when I light this one of the flames lights. You light a flame and then it connects via something to light over there. What is up these stairs, you might be wondering? Well, I'll ask them. What's upstairs? They thought it was too corny. God damn it. Map of Siofra River. Yeah, the maps in the underground zones, which was indicated by the map of Ancestor River just being in a random place, are not marked, nor are they, like, indicated by a little tombstone. That's because, you know, the underground zones are smaller than the surface, so there's not a whole lot of places to look for them. But yeah, as you can see, this place is big. We've just been here and here. There's all this, we probably can't go there, but there's also this. There's also, we probably can't go there, but it's there, you know. Some stuff that's in bounds, and then a hell of a lot of stuff that's out of bounds, because that's the reality of the map in this game. Okay, I'm gonna sneak. And by sneaking, I almost killed myself and Torrent. I guess technically, since Torrent would have been falling first, I killed Torrent and then myself, is how I should say it. Inverted Hawk Heater Shield. Inverted makes it sound kind of important for some reason, so let's read about it. The inverted hawk is the emblem of the company of slaves ordered to explore the Eternal City. I've never heard of that before. Like, are those slaves all dead now? Or, okay, that's fall damage. In fact, it's probably an instant kill. Or could the ancestral followers, as unfortunate as it is, be the slaves? Or do we encounter them as enemies, is the other thing I wanted to say. Hey, I see that down there. Okay, we'll be getting to that in a bit. First, let's see what's up the stairs. After we pick up this Glovewort. Ghost Glovewort 2. Level 2, sorry. I gotta stay consistent with my own rules. Hollow Horn Grounds. And we can see a dead deer? I think I remember we picked up from Einzel as well, another connection to Einzel. We picked up the immunizing horn charm. That was from the horn of an antler. Was it from you, maybe? Well, you're not going to answer that because you're kind of dead. Do you have an item in your... Nope. I don't need to go any further with that. There's also some stuff off to the side. I don't remember there being anything here, but, you know, I'm going to check it real quick. I would not be surprised if there is an item out here. They hide items in the weirdest places. Am I supposed to be seeing down there? Nothing around the edges, so instead, let's admire the fact that we are far lower than the highest reaches of this room. We went down a huge elevator under the ground, and yet there's all that stuff higher than us to explore at some point. God, this place is awesome. Anyway, enough gushing about the region. Let's go explore the region and clear it out before this video takes me 2 hours, because I do plan on going everywhere we can go in this video right now. Golden Rune level 6. Wow, way to fat shame Torrent, excuse me. He's a nice horse, you should not be this mean to him. Horn bow. I don't want to think about what you do with this bow when you have a horn. Made from an animal horn. Okay, good. Wielded by the master hunters of the ancestral followers. Imbues arrows fired with magic damage. Oh, I've had experience with those. Reveals its true worth when used with magic infused Imbues arrows fired with magic damage. Reveals its true worth when you use magic arrows. You basically just told me the same thing twice, although I guess the first one was like, this bow inflicts normal arrows with magic, but is even better with magic arrows. In fact, that's exactly what it's saying. Alright, never mind. I'm dumb. Ignore me. Oh no. Okay. One of the biggest threats in Siofra are these archers. There are lots of them. They can hit you from super far away. You saw their giant magic arrows from episode 11. At least I hope you did. You know how dangerous that is and how good it is to keep an eye out for that. There's also just a lot of them in general. Okay. So, it is good to visit that little section of Liurnia so that you can get accustomed to fighting them. Especially when they attack that many times in a freaking row. Wow. Please die. Thin Beast Bones. Golden Rune level 4. And a horse. I wonder where I found this from. Okay, we have some scaffolding to check out. There's also this area with Is that who I think it is? That's not who I think it is it? Indeed it is, and something, I can't remember the lines now. I used to have it memorized, but now I don't. How could I? Hello, Blythe.
Ah. Good to see you. Apologies, mate, but I don't have much to report. I can see bloody Nokron right above me, but I'm absolutely stumped. I've tried all the gateways, to no avail. Perhaps it's time to ask Seluvis. I recall that spiteful little rat acting like he knew something. Let's give him a squeeze. Show him just how sharp my teeth are.
Well, you go do that to him, and I'll show off a different way I can enter Nokron. Or a way I can enter Nokron, not a different way. I don't know what I was implying by that. Okay, actually, as much as I would love to say that, that Spirit Spring just takes you to this bridge, and this bridge is separate from the rest of it, which we now know is Nokron. We found it, but we need to find a way in. And unfortunately, down here's just the river, the natural areas. There's no way in from down here. No obvious way, anyway. I'm basically just repeating everything Blythe just said. I guess I'm plagiarizing his dialogue. No. You can tell what video I was watching just a moment ago. That video was really good about plagiarism, and it made me have to go back and, like, I remember I actually recommended Internet Historian's video, Man in Cave, in my Black Mesa playthrough, and I had to go back and remove it and say, no, actually don't watch it, because, yeah, that was unfortunate. I loved that video. I thought it was great. Turns out it was plagiarizing. Hooray. Great. That's probably, like, the biggest blow to my... I don't want to say ego, because I don't have an ego about it or anything. I don't know. That was probably like the biggest pain that came from me watching that video, because I understand if many others watch that video and are like, what, this content creator I loved was plagiarizing the whole time? I didn't have that too much with any of the other creators in that video, but that video by Internet Historian was the biggest pain for me. It seems like that stone sword key is everything to find over here. I'm gonna double and triple check. Hello, sir. Are y'all good over there? Must be kind of lonely. I should drop by and give you a visit sometime if I can actually find a way over there. My god, how do you get over there? Walk along the invisible path like it's Anne Orlando in Dark Souls 3 or the Crystal Caves. Landmass there. That looks... safe? Get off the fucking ledge already. I don't know if I can make this. Or if there is anything down here. I made it, and there is something down here. Alright, cool. We're just going out of bounds a little bit here, except not really. I assume there was a much clearer way to get down here that I've just forgotten where it is, and it's been a long time since I explored this place for the first time, so, yeah. That would be why. Drop down again, and then a little hole. With, nothing. There's also not a hole on the other side. So what's this one doing here? No idea. Let's bring Torrent back out. About this Spirit Spring. I would like to test something, and I'm unfortunately going to have to risk losing 8,000 runes. Actually, it shouldn't be that big a deal since I'm dropped down to a safe location. Let me jump up. So I've already been over the fact that Spirit Springs will give you a protection buff when you land near them. Well, the area where you get the protection buff is usually a lot bigger than the actual Spirit Spring itself, at least on the surface. I have heard this Spirit Spring is a little finicky, or at least was, and I'm gonna test it right now to see if it still is. Looks like yes, that's going to kill me, that's gonna... No, it's... okay, never mind, fuck that. It's not. That certainly seemed a lot more safe to land by than it did in previous versions of Elden Ring, where you had to basically land on top of it, or else you took fall damage and died. Do you have anything more to say before I continue?
I jest. I wouldn't go that far. Besides, I should check on some things here. Leave this place to me. You just do what you feel is right. If either of us learns anything, we tell the other. Right?
Well, I guess I'll have to go ask Seluvis about that eventually, as much as I despise the thought. For now, though...
Straight answer. First time.
Well, that's good to know. I'll be sure to ask him 70,000 times before he relents, before he gets impatient with me and says, "Okay, fine, you may have the information," in his beautiful voice that I replicated so well just then. But first, I would like to continue in this environment because it's so beautiful and because I want to see all of it. There isn't an archer pointing their arrows at me yet, is there? Well, there will be in a second if I don't put a stop to that right now. Let me just boom. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, backhanded. Almost. Backhanded. Not entirely backhanded. Wow, okay. Yeah, these archers, if they see you from a long distance, they're gonna be sending those magic arrows into your face, and heart, and stomach, and the jugular, all of those places. You will have a giant arrow sticking out of in just a bit. Fortunately, I managed to stay out of their range of vision and attack them up close, where they didn't see me coming. I guess by sticking to the side, staying inside the foliage, I was able to do that, because I'm not really sure how I was able to do that. Usually I get shot 17,000 times going out here. Do you see those floating electrical balls over the water? Take care not to approach them. Those are enemies, but I don't think they can be attacked or killed. Let me see what they do. They're like hazards of some kind. Let me get the attention of one, and it's gonna send, yep, zap, 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 zap. And because those zaps are landing in water, they go out in a little AoE. That's a secret effect that lightning attacks on water do in these games. It's been like this ever since Dark Souls 1. Fun fact. Okay, yep, that's what I meant by the archers. Okay, I need to find the way over to you. Unfortunately, these guys are almost never alone. They're usually heavily guarded. How come none of you all see me? You're the only one who sees me right now. Okay. Blocked by the tree, and now I can attack ya! Ow. Oh my god, please stop attacking. Seriously? This is like the longest combo one of them has ever done. These guys really like their long combos, don't they? Is there another archer? Did I just see out of the corner of my eye another archer? I did, but they didn't see me, thankfully. Oh, that archer is guarding the way up to a sending gate. I was trying to remember its name. I almost called it a spirit spring. That's not what they're called. Dappled cured meat. You just stay right. You're not going to. Okay, we're fighting you before I check on that, and then I'm probably going to forget to. Got me right in the face. It's fine. I got you right in the face. How does it feel? Doesn't feel so great to be attacked in the face. Let's check out this dappled cured meat. Temporarily boosts immunity, robustness, and focus. Not vitality, though. That you'll still need to increase with the pustule thing. Cool. There's a lot of variants of meat. Where's that going into? My god, it's like... It's hitting the bottom of my rib cage. That feels like it would be a sensitive area from... I don't know if I should say personal experience, because I've only, like, experienced it a couple of times, and I don't even remember what caused the whatever pain him describe. I don't know, I'm just gonna move on as we pick up a smithing stone level 2 and a Ducast Herba and run past some goats and freak them out. You know, usual stuff. Usual stuff with Elden Ring. Pick up a smithing stone, run past some goats, freak them out, and then get almost killed! Correction! Actually killed! I was kind of stun-locked to death there. Knocked off my horse. What was that? Did you take some of my soul or something? The interesting thing about Siofra River, there are sending gates all throughout. The one at the top that was being guarded by the archer on that little fallen over column thing is unique, but this one, I believe, just takes you to the other side. Yeah, we're just on the other end of the place now. I think there's a site of grace nearby. This sending gate, guess where it takes you? Back to the other side. I don't understand the point. I also don't understand what just gave me six runes after dying. I'll take it if it means that I get to find another checkpoint. Okay. Is there a site of grace around here? There's altars. I see those. I might actually get those, because I might not be coming back down here for a long time. I would certainly like to find a site of grace here first, though, so I can get back here quickly without having to find a sending gate again. But, that might be too much to ask, it seems. Y'all are being joined by rats. I don't know what to make of that. Are the rats friendly with you? Like, I don't know. Okay, well, we better find a site of grace soon, or I'm gonna lose all those freaking runes I had. I had a lot. I didn't have enough to level up, but it was still a lot. No one's gonna see me if I go out here. Are they? Please say no one's gonna see me. There's a scarab here, and I must kill it. I must kill the scarab. I must disturb nature as much as possible. I was gonna say, Ash of War Square Off. That's the, Ash of War that's like the thing with the sword. I think I used it one time in the first episode, and then I never touched it again because it's so boring. I used it a bit in Dark Souls 3, and it did some decent job. I think it has a pretty good stagger. That's about it. This looks kind of Site of Grace-ish. This is a big, important building. Please. Yes! I was right about it! Let's activate the summoning pool first, though. I really want to know how long you see the Lost Grace Discovered animation for throughout a playthrough of this game. It must be like 20 hours at least. 20 hours of your entire gameplay experience with Elden Ring is watching Lost Grace Discovered. After they make the zaps at you, they disappear. So I'm just gonna cheese this one. These two are guarding this altar, which I will light right now. Okay, I thought it was charging up another blast, and I was like, what? How's that possible? Now we have half of the altars. We'll have to search for the rest of them. Maybe they unlock the secrets. Okay, you both have hammers. I'm just gonna get started. Is it dangerous to attack these guys without being at full health? Yes? Do I care? No. Honestly, I was gonna say, I'm saving my flasks, but this is Elden Ring, and it'll replenish if I kill a group of these guys. I don't need to worry. Again, I'm used to Dark Souls 3, because I just played it again yesterday. Fun freaking game, you know? I managed to beat Udex, Vort, and Curse Rod of Greatwood all on my first try for the first time ever. And I think it's because of Elden Ring experience. I think playing Elden Ring so much recently has made me better at Souls games overall. Because, you know, this game's got some crazy shit later. Not for most of its runtime, thankfully, but later for sure. Here's all my runes. I'm glad I got them back. Let's keep going. I don't believe frost works on these guys, or else I would have been able to tell if it has. Fur raiment. We have a new outfit to try. I could always switch to it. It would make myself look fit in a little bit better. We got some archers, including one firing normal plebeian arrows right behind me. Silly archer. Don't you know that the magic-powered arrows are, like, way more effective and actually scary? Unlike the regular ones? Well, the regular ones can be annoying at the best of times. Yeah. What are you doing, sir? Oh, you're summoning a bunch of dark spirits with your weapon that chase after me. You know, normal things. I'm used to it, though. I'm used to it. Okay, it's one of these guys that killed me last time. He's wielding, like, a bone of a deer on a stick. You know, I thought you guys were, like, worshipping a deer of some kind. It seems like you completely hate a deer if you just use it as a weapon. But then again, you're just constructing... I mean, these deer are okay with you. Maybe it's, like, a big bad deer. Maybe it's a moose. And they see the moose as, like, evil or something. I don't know. I won't guess things about a culture that I know nothing about. Instead, I'll murder everyone inside the culture. That's better, right? This is sarcasm. Please do not arrest me. The FBI probably wouldn't care about that. Alright, altar, which these guys were guarding. Let's light it up, light it up, light it up, it's on fire! Hey, I actually got to use that. I remember saying that earlier in the playthrough, and I was lighting a Site of Grace, even though the Sites of Grace aren't bonfires, and so they aren't lit up on fire. So, it didn't work as well there, but this time it did. Hello, you even have the jackalope rat things. What are those? This is where I wish that From Software Games gave you the names of enemies to fight. It would probably help a lot more people understand the lore, maybe even get some people engaged with it, if they knew what to call the things they were fighting. Elden Ring rarely tells you enemy names outside of spirit ashes, and even then, there aren't spirit ashes for every enemy in the game, so other than that, you're left to guess. Other than that, in bosses, of course, you're just left to guess what things are called, or make up your own names. And, you know, I've had fun making up my own names, but I do wish that, like, similar to, say, Castlevania Symphony of the Night / other Castlevania games that's not just Symphony of the Night, you know, that game has an item that tells you the name of every enemy you're fighting. Or, you know what would be even better, and perhaps be a new introduction to telling the lore of these games? Have a bestiary. Why not? Have something like the Hunter's Journal in Hollow Knight. That would be really, really cool. Or, you know, the bestiary in other games. Tell me stuff about the enemies. Tell me their stats. Why not? Though, actually, that might be hard to do because, enemies in these games are always get their health scaled up in later areas, so there's not a consistent level of health in any one area. In that case, then, just do the Hollow Knight Hunter's Journal. Show the enemy, give me their name, and tell me some little fun facts about them. Get me into this world more. I think that would be really cool. That would probably get more people into the lore of these games. There's already so many people that just write it off as like, I'm never gonna understand that, and those people might not be that way if you just tell them a little bit more stuff. I'll save this tangent for, well, I would say later. What I mean by that is literally the end of the playthrough. So, yeah. Well, that's gonna wait a long time. Excuse me. Apparently this is your item, and I am not to take it because it belongs to you, and therefore, I may not steal it. Well, too bad. You left it unprotected. Haha, sucker! Ride like the wind, cowboy! That's what Woody says to Bullseye, right? In Toy Story? It's been a while since I watched those movies, so I don't remember these things. Hello, giant plant that's super fun and interesting to fight. Definitely. This is not sarcasm. No. We'll give you that idea. Hey-ya. Yep. Super enjoyable battle we got here, guys. Really loving it. I love the plants. I think the plants are weak to fire damage, so in all honesty, I could try Flame Sling on them. But in all honesty, I don't care. Got rained on a little bit. Rained on by a plant. Oh, the smaller ones. Nope, didn't drop anything special. I just remember what the special thing about this room was while I was fighting it. It's that item up there. And by remembered, I mean that I saw it and then remembered. But, you know, I cut out one of those things. I wasn't being entirely truthful there. In all honesty. In all honesty, I am lying. There, that'll stump the AIs watching this video that I don't know if they actually exist or not. I mean, I'm sure there are AIs that are told to just go click on random videos. I mean, how else do those bot comments happen? So, in case there are any bots watching, screw you! I've defeated you! This is my new house. I call it... house. Oh, God, I just moved in and I'm already having a bug problem. Are you serious? Alright, whatever. Let's keep moving. It's a house that has freaking those electrical orb things going by outside every single day, so I need to watch for one every time I want to leave to go shop, buy some stuff from the local market that's somewhere nearby. Oh yeah, and I have a pretty unfriendly neighbor. It's kind of unfortunate. I'm hoping to find a better place down here soon if I can maybe move into the Eternal City, but for now, it's nice. Okay. I was wondering if you had a friend. You have a friend that takes forever to get up after falling 2 feet down a ladder. To be fair, anyone would. That's, you know, how normal physics work, and the same thing also happens to my character, so yeah, I shouldn't mock people for succumbing to the effects of physics and gravity that they don't have any control over at all. Well, then again, isn't there a way that you can fall off things to ensure you keep your stance like, really well? And there's entire schools of fighting that teach you how to fall correctly, because there is an incorrect way to fall, apparently, and I believe it. I mean, yeah, if you fall head first off of a cliff, you're far less likely to survive than if you fell feet first. Though you're not that likely to survive then either, but you're less likely if you go head first. Who were you attacking? What? Were you just... Did you see a ghost or something? Well, buddy, I hate to break it to you, you are a ghost, so... I don't know, maybe you're in some spirit realm where there's enemies there that only they can see and I cannot? Is that the idea? Or is it just a weirdly coded ambush attack he's supposed to use that I was in the exact wrong position to be hit by? So it looked like he was attacking the opposite direction to me. I prefer to think it's that because it's really funny, but yeah, that was odd. Isn't there a site of grace somewhere in the middle here? Somewhere there, maybe? I'm gonna check real quick. think we've explored the scaffolding. We've, have we? No, we haven't. I just got that item, thought that was it, but there's actually a secret path on the other side. Hold on, though. But back to the... That's where I've already been. Never mind. There's no side of grace out there. I hear scuttling. One of those giant enemy crabs. Only reason I haven't been fighting them is just because I'm not that interested, personally. Yeah, there is. There's just a whole secret path right here that I was about to miss, so thankfully I didn't. That's right. This place goes somewhere really important and good. Why am I being so conservative with my flasks? It's because I played Dark Souls 3 yesterday. But anyway, like I keep getting them refilled because this is an open world zone. Of course, in other areas of the game, that's not how the flasks work. You can't keep getting them back in the legacy dungeons and the minor dungeons and the any dungeon of the game. You can't get the flasks back, so that would be why. Right. There's a lone guy practicing his music down here, just like that ancestor follower was practicing his attacks. It is my duty as the Tarnished Warrior to scare anyone and everyone I meet. Boom! Oh. This guy wasn't phased. That was pretty funny. It was just like, oh, hello? I love that. He sells soap, which I've already been over. It cleans off the poison or scarlet rot. If you roll through poison or scarlet rot water, there are no waters for any of the other status effects, I don't think. You can use soap to clean it off so it stops slowly filling you up. I'm more interested in your cookbooks. You also have the shuttle. That looks like a freaking, what do you call them? Sickle. It was really hard for me to discern the difference between a scythe and a sickle, but like, scythes have long handles and sickles don't. That's how I eventually learned it. Dappled cured meat, dappled white cured meat. It's a bit better. Soap, oil pod, and roped oil pod. Now I can craft soap of my own. I don't need your stupid soap. Larval tier. I found out that there's actually a special gesture you get for rebirthing with Rennala. I don't know if you need to change appearance or if you need to change stats, but either way, I think I might do that eventually. I think I'm good on Stone Sword keys. Then again, I don't have nearly enough to level up anymore, so I'll take a one. There we go.
Goodbye. Till next time.
You okay? Are you really annoyed by me and don't want to say it to my face and are just, like, talking at me through gritted teeth, or are you really shy? It's hard to tell. Hefty beast bone on that guy. That's one of the random items they only plop down up there on the ledge so that you see that it's there and you're like, I wonder how to get around there, and so you keep an eye out for it. And then it's always just, like, one of some random dumb item. That's okay, though, because the item serves a different purpose. I just realized my house has a second floor. What's in the second floor? I didn't know there was a second floor. The landlord didn't tell me that. Or the previous tenant. I don't know. I don't know if I rented this place or if I bought it yet. Smithing stone level 3s. 2 of them. Man. Nice. It probably came with the package that I paid for. It would make sense. It's just 2 of a smithing stone level 3s. But then again, smithing stone level 3s are kind of hard to come by in the late game, as I have already been over. I think that's it for the middle section of Siofra, so I think now is a pretty good time to take a small break and go ask Seluvis if he knows anything about how to get into Nokron. And we'll probably be met with some, like, stupid, arrogant comment about how we suck for not figuring it out ourselves. Hello, you absolute douchebag. Thankfully, those words aren't coming out of my character, or else this guy would never give me the information in a million years.
Begging for another lesson so soon?
Yes, a lesson in how to get to the city. About Nokron!
Well, you're asking me about that, are you? The task was left to you and the mongrel, was it not? Not only are you incompetent, but Shim's...
Well, what are you doing for Ronnie right now?
There's no helping it. Now's as good a time as any. I'll let you in on it. There's a glintstone sorcerer by the name of Selin in Limgrave. She owes me for the help I gave her when she was expelled from the academy. I asked her to look into the matter some time ago. I'll write you a letter of introduction. Go ask her.
Alright, that's all the dialogue he has for that. Sadly, we can't snoop at his letter. The contents of the scroll cannot be discerned. He wrote it in some magic language that only sorcerers can understand. I mean, I'm something of a sorcerer myself, but I guess I need like 60 intelligence to read or something, and I don't have that yet. Dressed to a glintstone sorceress by the name of Selin. We know her very well. You may have forgotten her though, but we do know her.
Shall we commence the lesson?
Show letter of introduction.
Well, well. Seluvis is not a name I ever wanted to hear again.
Same.
But fine. If it will help you, my apprentice, I offer my knowledge. The stars alter the fate of the Carian royal family, and the fate of your mistress, Rani. But long ago, General Radahn challenged the swirling constellations, and in a crushing victory arrested their cycles. Now he is the force that repulses the stars. If General Radahn were to die, the stars would resume their movement, and so too would Rani's destiny.
Oh, he is so dead. But before that, let me buy a magic shield that I'm never going to use. I chose that over this. I think that was a bad idea. Radahn, huh? Where's he? I think I know someone who might have the answer.
Well then. There's something I should mention to you as well. I'm thinking of leaving the Round Table Hold. Do you know of the noble Gold Mask? Though he was but a tarnished, living outside the lands between, he was a great scholar who foresaw the coming guidance of grace. And now, I hear he has come to the lands between alone to contemplate the Golden Order. I wish nothing more than to seek his instruction, and perhaps even help him in his research.
I only know of Goldmask from the vague introduction that said the ever brilliant, and that's all I know. So, yeah, I don't know much about him, but cool. Glad to see that you're seeking brighter futures. I wish you good luck with that.
May the Golden Order shine through you.
Sorry, may the Golden Order shine through you. That's what I should be saying instead of good luck around here. Do you know anything about Radahn?
General Radahn, the famed Red Lion and Scourge of the Stars, is a ferocious warrior. He fought Melania and her rot to a standstill in the Caelid wilds to Limgrave's east. And now Caelid has been engulfed by the Scarlet Rot. Even approaching the region is no mean feat. I've heard survivors of Radahn's army are still in the wilds, staving off the rot with fire. And if it's true, I suspect Radahn is still there as well, in Caelid. Though, I doubt he much resembles his former self anymore.
Okay. We finally get to go to Caelid. Next video. But yeah, it's been kind of a long time coming. I only ever briefly visited it here in order to get into the Round Table Hold without having to go fight Margit at the beginning of Stormvale, and to show off the cool teleport. But yeah, we're going to finally get to explore the place. First though, there's something far more important, and it's called Siofra. It occurs to me that I never showed off these descriptions from the items we picked up in the last video upon defeating Royal Knight Loretta. Creates a magic great bow and fires a great arrow. Charging enhances potency, hold to keep the great arrow knocked. It is said that this bow is Loretta's favorite weapon. This is really fun to use, but it requires 26 intelligence. I guess I better get started on leveling that up. You know, instead of buying a bunch of random crap from merchants. But hey, when I'm exploring a new place and I find merchants, I just can't help myself sometimes. They have unique items, they have the unique cookbooks that you can't find anywhere else, so what else am I supposed to do? Not have them have restraint in the things I collect? Who do you think I am? Loretta Slash. Skill of Loretta the Royal Knight. Leap forward, imbuing the blade with glintstone, then descend, accelerating to a sweeping slash, usable in polearms and twin blades. Alright, so they basically just tell you what they do and little more. There's not a whole lot of lore behind Loretta. I guess that's because the lore is in her name, Loretta. There's so many puns I say that I wish I had come up with, like, a long friggin' time ago so that they would have a greater impact and I wouldn't just be making them up as I go. I wouldn't just accidentally say something that sounded like a pun and then be like, haha, I said a pun, guys. I made it up by myself. I mean, technically I did, but, like, it has a better impact if it's something pre-planned, if it's something that comes from the past, and, yeah, so, those guys were so distracted doing their weird little stomping ritual. I won't call it weird, sorry, I don't. But, they're so distracted with that they didn't even notice me. I don't even know what they're stomping at. Before they were facing the minor Erdtree up in Liurnia, but here they're just looking at a cool waterfall and a building. If it works for them, it works for them. I mean, they stomp while looking at something cool. I guess they're just appreciating the beauty of nature. Except, much of this is not nature. Do you think that's nature up there? Do you think nature made that? Did nature create the, quote, stars in the sky here? Okay, we got some dudes. You know, I have yet to use Carian Slicer on anything, and I need to fix that. I have yet to build up my Carian Slicer quota for this episode. Boom, there we go. I think free aiming it would be easier when there's a million rats, so I don't get stunned out of my attack 17,000 times. How did you not notice me that entire time? There was absolute carnage taking place directly behind you, and you didn't hear me. Did you have AirPods in? Oh god, don't burn your hand there, character. Keep it. This isn't Dark Souls. Fire isn't the sustaining force of all life anymore. That can burn you. Okay, we got another altar here, and then I think we should be almost done with the altars. Right. Blythe is still down there, and I should probably tell him about the thing. Hold on, we have rats to kill first, and then I will go do it. I'll make sure to do it eventually, though. It will get done, but before this video ends. Trust me. I'm gonna say that, and then I'm gonna forget, like I always do. Drink. And that. Oh my god. I turned him albino, except his eyes aren't red, so that doesn't work, but still, almost. I was partway there. His fur also wasn't white, it was silver. Technicalities, and how they ruin my jokes. I will end them one day. Are you gonna do anything about me? You clearly noticed me somehow. You heard me sneaking up to your precious altar. There you go, there you go. Let's see if the other one does anything, or if they're just content to stay there. I'm gonna attack you with a great glintstone shard, then I'm gonna switch back to this. That does a lot of damage to you. Y'all have a lot of health, but you take a lot more damage than I would expect. I guess maybe you don't have a lot of defense against anything, really. Speaking of which, how does your clothing look on me? That might be a rude thing to say to people I just murdered. You know, that looks pretty cool, actually. How about, do I have anything else in their set? Yes, I do. I have their leggings, you know? This looks cool. I don't know if I want to wear it just yet. I think I'll stick with Carian Knight, but I'll definitely try that out at a later date. I haven't had their shirt before. I've only ever had their legwear. So, the legwear on its own didn't really do much for other outfits. So, I'm sure there is, like, an outfit that I could have mixed and matched with very well. Power gathers somewhere in Horned Remains. I wonder where we've seen Horned Remains before. Can I kill you to get a flask back? Oh, hey, you know what I should do? The skill that I obtained last time and was very happy to see and have yet to use at all. Ah! I'm just not used to having the skill. That's why I haven't been using it that much. There we go. Both of my flasks were filled. That was a good spending of flasks, and now let me spend another flask. Speaking of flasks, look what it is. I don't know if I've ever officially declared it, but these little golden twigs, these little golden saplings, almost always indicate a golden seed is underneath them. Sometimes, in rare instances, there are two, so you want to be on the lookout for them. This is my hiding spot, and I'm not moving until the situation has drastically improved. Now go away, and don't tell anyone I'm here! That's what that sheep was saying, that goat thing. There were items back that way, but I think we can go this way first. Oh, there's a cool-looking waterfall. And by cool-looking waterfall, I mean the water is not very dense in this waterfall. Also, the waterfall is nowhere near as loud as waterfalls tend to be. I guess because we're really far away from the point where the water is actually crashing into the earth and making the noise. Except, do waterfalls make noise at the very top? I don't know. I don't really know if I'd actually visited like a super, super tall waterfall. I visited a few, but nothing super, super tall. A rune arc in here, and that's it. Great! Alright. Well, what did I expect, really? An entrance to Nokron? Kind of. I kind of did. You know, it's so funny. That water, as good as it looks, does look like goop. Just like the way that it curves down. But it still looks good. Like, I still don't question it. Except for right now, where I'm pointing out the fact that it looks like goop. But aside from that, I never usually point it out or really notice it. It's just occurring to me now that it looks that way. A perfect dismount aimed to the death pit. Amazing. What keeps giving me 6 runes every time I respawn at that grace? Is there like a goat under the map that falls and dies? That's what happened in Dark Souls 1, where when you enter the Great Hollow, you will probably notice yourself getting a lot of souls. That's because there's a basilisk underneath the map that you then spawn in, cause it to fall and die, and then it dies and gives you souls. It's pretty funny. A similar thing happens in Dark Souls 3 in a few places. I think there's Cathedral of the Deep and the Drag Heap it happens in. The Drag Heap is one of the little poison bugs. I assume one just spawns under the map and falls. Stone Sword Key. How many of those do I have? Oh, well, we better start finding Stone Sword Keys doors. I would say it's safe to say, but no, I am absolutely certain that there are far more Stone Sword Keys in the world than you need to unlock everything in the world. Because at one point, very late in my first playthrough of the game, had 20 Stone Sword Keys on hand and nothing to spend them on. So we'll see if the same thing happens this time. I'm pretty sure it will if I'm gonna be this thorough all the time. There is more to see over here, yet more to continue, but it seems to reach a kind of endpoint. I'd rather go back and talk to Blythe once more, maybe find... Oh, you know what? I think this is the grace in the middle point I was thinking of. I think there's another grace somewhere over there. We'll find it later. And then, we'll check out these Hollowhorn grounds once again. Looks pretty satisfying to have it all lit up like that. I also like this parade of deer just going through this. Some people will probably say, those are actually antelope. And then, from this point on to the end of the playthrough, I will then refer to them as antlered creatures. Because I don't know the difference. I mean, I know a moose when I see one. I know a sheep when I see one. I know that a sheep or a goat is distinct from a deer. But at a glance, I don't think I could tell the difference between elk, antelope, or moose, or... I literally said I could tell the difference between moose or like caribou or anything like that. I'd probably just default to calling them deer. I mean, antelope kind of I think they have differently shaped horns. They also have white fur in places, but so do deer. But I think antelopes is more prominent, right? Editing me, look up pictures of antelopes and see if you're correct. Sometimes it feels like everyone except for me is just a master at pointing out the differences between things and knowing the differences between things, especially animals, and I just know nothing about it because I don't know what that reason is. The reason is that most of my brain capacity and hippocampus is being used up to store useless video game information. Anyway.
Well met. What news?
Tell Selen's story.
So Rani's fate is kept in stasis by Starscourge Radahn. That reminds me of something I heard. There's a festival being held at the castle on the southern edge of the Caelid Wilds, east of Limgrave. It's a festival of combat. And I heard that you can fight Radahn himself. He who's once called the strongest of all the demigods. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but I think it's worth investigating. I'll be on my way to this festival of Radahn then.
That's right. We heard Alexander refer to the same thing. So, I think I'll be joining as well.
You're coming too, right? To Radahn's festivities. I'll meet you at Redmane Castle in Caelid. The way ahead is pleasingly simple. We fight, sword and fang.
Well, you fight with your fang. I can't exactly do that. Might sound like a really fun, like, festival, little fair with food and popcorn and a petting zoo and whatnot, but it's a combat festival. It's basically everyone groups together to fight. Did you expect it? Did you expect there to be a happy occurrence in a From Software game? Where have you been living? Probably down here, because I guess if you were to live down here, you are living under a rock. The rock being the earth. Look at that. We're under Caelid right now. But that's not important. What's important is the special spiritual glow coming from this thing. This deer, sorry. I didn't mean to just call you a thing. You're clearly a lot more special than that. Hope you don't mind if I give your head a little pokey. I didn't actually touch the head. Am I in jail? Is this my punishment? Where is this? Ah, under the water. Yeah, I'm in jail. Crap. I shouldn't have touched that. I'm sorry. Let me out. Well, I can just do this, but, you know, there's no tension whatsoever. Have a listen. It is easily the most unique and memorable boss theme in this game. Though it might not be my favorite track, I love it for how much it stands out among the other generic choir and orchestra that fills the rest of the bosses. I mean, the soundtrack is not bad by any means. I quite like it. There's some themes like the dragon bosses that I like, but the music versus the Ancestor Spirit is one of my favorites. There's a couple of others I like too, and we'll get to them later. For now, here's this fight. I think if I had any problems with it, I think it moves around a little bit too much. As you saw, I went so long there at the beginning without being able to hit it once because it just kept jumping away. Other than that, I love this boss. The attacks are well telegraphed. I just keep being an idiot against them, and that's why I'm being hit by them. It doesn't have a whole lot of health or a whole lot of super high difficulty, but it can totally kill you, and has totally killed lots of other players. We'll see if that happens with us, though. Oh man, it is kind of weak to frost. It's also just really beautiful looking. It's the perfect way to top off a pretty area. A similarly looking area, I guess. Ooh, okay, perfect. I don't really know much about this thing, but you can clearly tell that it is the fully, come-to-life versions of the Horned Remains out in the Hallow Horn grounds. That requires a heal. I considered using my physic against it, but honestly, I don't think I'm gonna need it, which is kind of sad to say, because it means this boss is gonna be over. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. This is Elden Ring. You don't just use bosses once around here, alright? I should stop spoiling that shit. Alright. Watch out for that. It's just hop, hop, and then a crunch. A crunch of your head, that is. Mule kick, avoided, and not quite dead yet because it dodged out of the way just in time. Amazing. Okay, it's going to breathe that down at me. Oh, God. I love those dripping sounds that attack makes. Oh, it's so cool. But it's also so dead. Should I have done that? Well, now an ancestral follower is able to be summoned by me, so, they don't mind that much, right? Yeah, I'm not really sure what to think about the morality of killing that boss. It felt just like some ancient creature under the world that was just doing its own thing, and then until you come in and kill it for no reason. Then again, though, in the world with the Golden Order, death isn't really a thing, is it? So yeah, I didn't actually kill it in the end. That makes it okay, right? A spirit of the horned folk who eschew letters and metalworking. I guess that's brush aside, they don't need it. Brawny and versed in distinctive spiritual arts, this particular tribesman wields a heavy bow. You can summon the incredibly strong magic arrows against enemies, yay! Well, I won't really need that too much. That's all to see down here for now. I believe Blythe is still marked there, but he is gone, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna go check. Yeah, he's gone. Map, get with the times! You really came all the way over here. And now you're backing up. What are you doing? Hello, item I didn't pick up. Golden Rune level 2. Very cool. I've had this on for a long time now. I just realized I have the magic boost. I thought I had dexterity on the entire time. But yeah, I've had these tiers for a long time now, so how about we change them? How about we restore half health right away? And then I want to know, can I actually attack enemies with this? Because that would be really funny if I could. I don't think I'm going to try for right now, but that could be something funny as like a weird stealth build type of thing. Let's do dexterity not. I think this this weapon, the Twin Blade, scales up the most with dexterity, though we have switched around the scaling a bit thanks to giving it the cold affinity. So dexterity scaling is no longer its best scaling, and they're now just all kind of equal, though with the whole letter grade system, it's kind of hard to tell where in the scale they are. Like, I'm pretty sure if you were to change a weapon's affinity and it shows the scaling as going from C to C but blue, it is actually getting better. It's just that it appears the same. And yes, I don't think I've ever mentioned it, but the attribute scaling stat there is based off of letter grades. A D is the worst, S is the best. A, B, and C are in the middle. And they go down from S to D. You probably know how this works, but in case you don't, there it is. Hi, rats. Okay, we're doing this then. Be Hoarfrost Stumped. I have not used this skill nearly enough. SCP 173 damage. Hello? Oh, wow, I just realized there's sand on the ground. Yeah, and that sand on the ground was far more interesting than you guys are, apparently. Sorry. Sorry, that's just the way it is. That's what my mind gravitates to. After I've killed 1 million of you, you're no longer that big in my brain. Okay. They showed me who's boss here. And once again, he got, like, healed from it. Is that a... Whenever they kill you, they heal from it? Well, I'm dead, so that doesn't do much for them. Since they're just gonna be restored to full health as I respawn anyway. Assuming that's what's going on. Fuck. Okay, I didn't mean to use Carian Slicer there. I was actually, like, clicking right bumper to just attack with the Twin Blade, but the Carian Slicer attack went out first, and it worked, so, I can't complain anymore. Body. Dead body with 3 slivers of meat. Did I take that from the body? I hope not. I would rather not resort to cannibalism. Well, then again, is it cannibalism if the nobles technically aren't tarnished? I don't know. Again, thinking about the rules behind... Thinking about, like, the rules and semantics behind the word cannibalism while playing Elden Ring. Not exactly the most on-topic thing in the world. But then again, From Software games have got some cannibals here and there. It might be on topic eventually. That appears to be it for this little stretch. It's just a bit of forest with a couple of archers that you can get around by sticking to the right. And here's the grace I was thinking of that was all the way over here. Yeah, it's all the way at the end here, all the way before the structure. Hold on, summoning pool. Summoning pool. And do Kisturba. Hi, where did you come? I swear these guys just keep appearing behind me. I'm sure they don't, like, constantly respawn. That would be kind of weird and dumb if they did. But you never know fully. Sure feels like it with how they can just appear out of nowhere. Okay, you. And you. And you. My god. You still had more attacks after that. Any self-respecting Dark Souls 3 enemy would have been long done by then. Actually, you know, given me a chance to hit. There's only like a couple of bosses in that game that have super ridiculous long combos. One of them's name starts with F. And begins with E. That appears to be it for behind this place. There's just 2 Dukist Herba, 3 melted mushrooms. There's probably actually 4 Herbas, I think. I didn't look at the numbers because the numbers are way down there in the corner instead of, you know, in the center of the screen where they should be. Then again, though, when you pick up a crafting material you already have loads of, then it's okay to just appear over there. Clarifying Horn Charm. This thing will clarify the secrets of the world to you. Raises focus, said to be a budding horn. It's the exact same description, but we can now increase our resistance to sleep and madness. We haven't defined the equivalent for, robustness yet. I don't know if I missed it. I sure hope I didn't. There was a lot of ground to cover, so if I missed it, well, whoops. I will remember that sending gate up this, actually. I'm gonna put a marker there to indicate it. It's gonna be a house for no reason. That will take you to a special part of Siofra River that you can go to and deal with right now. But from my experience there, I think I'd rather wait until later, personally. So instead of that, let's use 2 of our stone sword keys that we found down here to unlock this elevator. Love the shadows down there, looking great. That looks like the default graphic settings I had for Resident Evil 7. The game was set to interlace mode by default, and it took me forever to realize that, so it was really blurry at first, and then the shadows all looked like that, and so I was like, can I please fix this? Here it's okay, because it's just a minor part. Anyway, enough about this tangent. Going up? Bye, Siofra River. I will revisit you pretty soon, I hope. I was hoping to make that speech a little more heartfelt, but we're going to be going back there plenty, so we can wait until much, much later in the series to have a truly heartfelt speech about how awesome that place is and why I think it's the peak of open world gaming. Even though, I don't know, you could probably do better than it. Whatever. Every kiss begins with Caelid. By going up that elevator, I think you unlock this Siofra well. I've never visited here before without coming out of it like that, so I don't know if the door was like closed and shut tight on the other side, but yes, now we find ourselves in Caelid. I would love to get ourselves started from here, but I personally think it would be better to go back to the beginning and start off there in the next video when we actually start exploring this place, so that's what we'll be doing. The map is right nearby. I guess I can mark it, or one of the maps. We can actually see both of them already. I guess I will mark them. Why not? And we will seek them out in our adventures ahead. For right now, I think if you go a little bit this way, there's a rune bear over there. That tells me everything I need to know. Yeah, we're not doing this. Goodbye. Entering Caelid from here will drop you off in the middle of a big section that I'd rather wait until later to discover and explore. So, why don't I take this time to go clear up the rest of the stuff up here that I have yet to see. Before that, let's pay a visit to Bairn.
Ah, hello again. Say, cuz, have you met Uncle Alexander? He used to live here with us, but then he left to be a champion. I asked to go with him, but he said, the path of champions must be trod alone. So heroic, right? I miss him, though. If you see him, you should ask him to teach you how to fight, cuz. He's big and tough and strong.
He's so big and tough and strong that he got himself stuck in a hole. But we don't need to mention that. We don't need to ruin this kid's view of his uncle.
Uncle Alexander said he won't be back again. My home is of the past, and the past, as they say, is a different country. I suppose that's part of being a warrior, isn't it? So, please don't tell anyone, cuz. But I'm actually a warrior jar as well. One day, I'll be just like Uncle Alexander. Then I'll have to leave the village to become a champion.
Do you just decide that you're a warrior jar, or is there some step you have to go through? Some secret rite, secret ritual you have to go through in order to become one? Alright, that is all that you have to say for now. We will be sure to pay a visit again later. Those 3 markers on the map are proving themselves real effective so far, so I'm leaving them there. She has entered her slumber. I just wanted to come up and see what it looked like. I didn't actually remember. Oh yeah, new outfit, by the way. I even put on the hat for good measure. I don't have any fitting gloves, so Vulgar Militia gauntlets will have to do. You know, the Vulgar Militia are kind of lame. How about I switch to Warrior gauntlets instead? It kind of works. Taking a quick detour to Rennala to see if changing cosmetics with her is enough to get the gesture, or if I actually do have to go through the whole rebirth thing. What I'd like to do, personally, is I got the idea to do this yesterday. Alter face. I'm gonna put a tattoo on. why not? I mean, doing this is completely free, so let's see what some cool ones are. Unfortunately, my hairstyle kind of obscures them, so I'm going to be moving them down a bit. In fact, I'm going to set it to something, and then I'm going to move it down and make it, you know, actually visible. Not on the nose, though. This here is the Elden ring, I'm pretty sure, or some kind of symbol. This is something I'd rather not have. You know, there's not a whole lot of designs I love here, so I just need to pick one and go with it. This dragon looks kind of cool. Oh, this is the Black Knife Assassin's, like, daggers, at least the talismans. I'll go with the dragon myself, and then, tweak, flip it. Yeah, let's flip it. And then let's move it a little bit closer to the right so it's not on my nose and mouth. Nope, that's wrong. Tattoo color. Can make it as red as my hair. I think I will make it a dark red. I did this with my latest Dark Souls 3 playthrough, and I thought it looked really cool. So maybe, you know, make the red actually noticeable. So how about this? And then somewhere down here. Yeah, that looks cool. I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to keep everything else the same thing. We shall save this. Does that give me the...
Me not, I would burn.
Nah, okay. You know, Rennala, you're a pretty great tattoo artist. I think you could find a career other than rebirthing people. Let's do it so I can get the gesture.
Now.
Thankfully, I can see what my stats were before, so none of the important ones need to be changed any. I think I might, like, take a point out of something and give it to endurance. How about dexterity? Perfect. I'm brand new. That should give me nothing. Alright, well, at least I showed how it worked fully.
And if thou wert born anew once more, thou wouldst be fairer still. Ye will be...
Okay, I don't... Oh, no. I think she's also supposed to have dialogue after you finish. Whatever, doesn't matter. Let's get back on track. There is some dialogue in this game that appears to have been broken. I have heard that there is dialogue much, much later in the game that's supposed to play as a result of a certain questline that doesn't. So, that might be one of the ones that's broken now. Kind of a shame. I hope From Software notices and fixes it when the DLC comes out. I also wonder what kinds of effects the DLC is going to have on the base game. Like, there are some, like, Dark Souls 3 introduced the whole undead matches things with its first DLC. Elden Ring has that in the base game, though it was added in an update. We will be messing around with that in a later date. I actually will this time. I won't just explain what they are like I did in Dark Souls 3 and then not actually play one because I'm too coward. You know, I might, with some extra magic powers and this Twin Blade with Hoarfrost Stomp, I might actually stand a chance fighting other players. That's the main reason I don't usually engage with PvP in these games, is just because I'm good at fighting the enemies. But other players? Nah, they're too intelligent for me. This is the secret area of Caria Manor that I have mentioned at the beginning of this video. I almost said have alluded to, but I've been using the word allude wrong this entire freaking time, all the times that I've said it. Because it's supposed to be, like, point towards something without explicitly mentioning it. I have explicitly mentioned something every single time that I have later said that I have alluded to something. I never did. 5 fangs on that roof. Great. Real exciting. A drop down to something, actually. Interesting. And then this room. This new room. This is the room above what I believe is, yes, the little chapel area with the third site of grace, or second site of grace, the manor lower level site of grace. Spell approved, tried liver. You okay? You look not okay. So maybe I just answered my own questions. Hello, sir. Careful not to attack him. There was another Albinoric in this dungeon that attacked you. This guy does not.
Oh, you? Sorry, your worship. I apologize for any offense given. I am Pidia, servant to the Carian royal family. I am charged with maintaining these ghastly dolls.
So they're dolls. Made by who?
Your worship, allow me to be of use. Other than the puppets, there are some very fine things up here in this storeroom. Why not pick something out before you go? But please, can you offer poor ill-starred Pythia a little something by way of compensation?
Yes, it's called money. Here you go. What do you have? Budding horns. 2 of those. Old fangs. I'm personally not that interested. Horn began to sprout on a beast that typically bears no horn. Perhaps is a vestige of the primordial crucible. Primordial means existing from since the beginning of time, which of course nobody knows when the beginning of time was, so it's kind of just another word for ancient. There's Celestial Dew, a ritual pot, and a Glyphstone Craftsman's Cookbook 7 that actually crafts more than one thing. It tells you how to craft more than one thing. Give me that. That's a very exciting issue. I will read that immediately. Ash of War, Carian Retaliation. Swing the shield to dispel incoming sorceries and incantations, transforming the magic into retaliatory glint blades. It can also be used the same way as a regular parry. That's pretty neat. I think I'll store that in my collection and then never actually use it, because I never use shields. Unique weapon wielded by young Albinorix, who this guy is one of. He's a first generation. This sword is modeled after the ripples that are thought to be the origin of their species. Its attack power is greatly enhanced with one's arcane attribute. There's its stats. I'm afraid I probably haven't been showing the stats of the weapons enough. I really should. I should at least, like, tell you what they do at their base to give you an idea if you'd like it or not. From the north, the shield depicts the polar star and rivets of gold. The inside is lined with fur, protecting the carrier from frost. Cool. That's actually a good frost protection instead of the stone cold metal shield that we got down below in Caria Manor. Simple map, badly weathered. For the details available only to paying customers. Well, give me. I'm paying you. Give me this level tier to replace the one I spent for no reason at all. I have no more dialogue to say. Now I'm wondering if some of the merchants don't say anything because of dialogue bugs. That's kind of a bad thing to put in the player's head. Depicts streaks of amber light. I don't recognize anything within that. Yet, anyway, so we'll just keep that in mind. I think that's everything to find up here. I'll go and drop off the edge onto the roof outside here real quick to see if there isn't some, like, stone sword key or some really super special secret item that is really important for the lore out here, which I doubt there is. If anything, it's gonna be like Golden Rune 5. But, you know, y'all will kill me if I don't check it, so let's check it. It is actually a unique little bridge that then drops you down into the rest of the dungeon as... No! There's a crab! That was not in Caria Manor! What? Okay, never mind. There's a lot more than I thought. Slumbering eggs. He was also selling those. Prize the symbol of the most sublime slumber. Okay. Very cool. People in the real world count sheep to go to sleep. People in the lands between count eggs. I mean, it's almost the same thing. They're round and white, sort of. Alright, giant enemy crab. Do you by any chance inflict sleep? Yes, you do. I was right about that. Oh god, I know I was talking about sublime slumber. That didn't mean that I wanted one. It's not late enough in the day for that. Oh no. Okay, down you go. Down you go. I actually did almost fall asleep to an enemy that I said, I've never gotten sleep in this game because it's so rare. Who would ever do that? Another friggin' stone sword key was my reward for that. And I get to drop down here into this field. Very cool. Unfortunately, we're not quite done yet. There's more to see up above. There are actually a couple more things to see up here, but in the interest of not making another 1 hour 40 minute long video, watch this video end up that length anyway, I think I'm just gonna go around this edge here. Where the hell did you come from? That makes sense. That's where you came from. Nowhere. Just like the ghosts down in Siofra. And explore this side area, and then we'll end the video. And next time, I will explore the one last tiny thing I have to do up here, and then we will enter a new region of the Lands Between. At last! And hopefully it won't take us 9 entire videos to get through. I think part of the reason Limgrave took so long is because I also wanted to explain the game mechanics as I went. Hello, skeletons. I'm busy at the moment. I'm not interested in fighting you. Frozen armament, man. Frost spell after frost spell around these parts. Hello, Grace. Man, this is a much more convenient Grace to teleport to, except not really. I think the one inside the manor is a lot easier to teleport to if your goal is to head to one of the 3 rises. Ronnie's Rice Grace is kind of neat, but it puts you on the other end of a really long horse ride if you ever want to return to Seluvis's Rise, or if you ever want to double check on Renna's Rise. Though that still hasn't really revealed anything to us. I haven't shown it or walked up to it, but trust me, it doesn't. I know, like, way too much about this game. In fact, I'm surprised I was able to retain as much information as I could about it, because, like, it's a big game. There's so much to it. There's so many little things, yet, as I said before, my freaking brain just, like, stores useless video game information, so I remember the layouts and all this stuff basically perfectly, instead of remembering actual important details about real life. Albinoric Ashes. I think you mean second generation Albinoric Ashes, which is exactly what we're fighting now. Hey, they're using the spear the weapon we didn't buy, but saw was for sale by the first generation Albinoric down below. Pity, take pity on him. That might actually be what he's named after, the word pity. Why can't I move? I was stuck on nothing, it seemed. These Albinorics are so silly how they freaking... The second generation ones are so silly how they freaking, cartwheel all the time. Hey, it's you. I have one of your paintings of Rhea Lucaria with gravestones in the foreground, and it appears I have discovered the proper angle. Your gift is the Juvenile Scholar set and a Larval Tier. Pretty cool. The Juvenile Scholar is probably what those little sweetings, the slug children on the ground were wearing. Which kind of looks like graduation caps to me personally. But yeah, now you can pretend to be one of them if they had legs. I assume they don't have legs. I mean, did you see them slurm their way across the ground to try and attack me? Those were very non-mobile little creatures. Okay. You want to be careful around these parts. As you can see up ahead, that is a red wolf. As in, the red wolf of Radagon. Though this one isn't quite the red wolf of Radagon. There's an Everjail and Thawfrost boluses continuing the frost theme. I do not remember there being an Everjail up here. We'll have this be the end of the video, because other than the red wolf, we've basically seen all there is to see up here. I'm gonna check out the description of these ashes before I end. A strapping duo of cartwheeling spirits who wield triple swords and spew freezing breath. Both are second generation Albinorics with dumpy heads that resemble those of frogs. I believe if you kill enough of them, they have a chance of dropping their head, which you can wear. And I really, really want it. I might do an off-camera Albinoric head farming session, though I might need to find the proper items to do that first. I'll try to make it happen, but if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. Royal Grave Everjail, this costs nothing to enter, so let's enter it. Why not? I'll join the tournament or something. Am I kind of doing these Everjail owners a service by coming in here and just killing whoever's inside? Actually, I do remember this one now. The Onyx Lord. Okay. It took me a little while, but once I saw him, I was like, ah, yes. There is one of these guys to fight here. Yeah, it's basically the same as the smaller ones we fought out in the overworld, except now he has access to that meteor ability where he summons meteors in from a hole in the sky. That was an interesting wind-up. Are you weak to frost? By weak, I mean susceptible. Doesn't seem like you're weak to it. I've hit you loads of times and you have yet to be frosted, so, yeah. Oh, please, just stop with this. I'm not gonna check it out anytime soon, because if he is frosted, he's losing it right now. Heal up. Why don't I show him a good time? Okay, he doesn't think it's a very good time, and I agree. Being sliced with a, magic sword probably wouldn't be very nice. Like, how would that... I have to imagine, with how the sword is made of magic, that it would probably really burn. It would, like... It wouldn't just stab through you. It would add some extra spice, for lack of a better word. It would add an extra spice to the attack. It would probably burn. It would probably feel hot, or something. Or maybe even feel cold, although it's not a frost attack, so I don't know. Yeah, I can't imagine being stabbed with a magic sword would feel good. You know, fun fact. Do you know being stabbed sucks? This is the lovely commentary you can expect from my Elden Ring playthrough. I do not know how I'm going to keep up good commentary for, what, freaking 50 videos. That's my estimation for how long the series is gonna take. We'll see how close I am with that. I mean, I'm just about to enter the 3rd region of the game at episode 17, so yeah. It's gonna be a long one. Alright. Good thing is, I've basically done most of Liurnia. Like, there's just a bunch of small stuff remaining in Limgrave and Liurnia that I have yet to do. And I'll take those out sometime. They're just not the most pressing of things, but trust me, they will get done in the future. I'm probably saving them for later so that I can just go do them real quick. Well, that was an interesting battle. He hit me a lot, but I hit him a lot, and luckily I hit him more. I didn't hit him more. Meteorite. Summons a void that emits a rain of small meteorites. Hold to continue the effect. The sorcery originates from the Onyx Lords, who at Skin of Stone were called Lords in reverential fear of their destructive power. I think we've already read that somewhere. Maybe not. I don't know if this is the case, but I remember learning in elementary school that there are different terms for meteorites as they fall. Like, in space, as they're floating around, they're called meteoroids. When they fall towards Earth and turn all burning and whatnot, they're called meteors. And then when they land, they're called meteorites. Is that true? I don't know, like, I've heard them called those things interchangeably, and I think that's how people have just been taking it, because why the hell would we make a million terms for the same thing? I know, right? That would be really stupid. If the English language just made a million terms that mean the same thing, and everyone gets confused by it, and it's a really hard language to learn as a result. Yeah, that would be stupid. Anyway, it is possible to get over to Bellum Highway by climbing on those rocks, but it's really hard. I would not recommend doing it. In fact, this area is harder to reach than Bellum Highway, so just approach it from the bottom. Approach it from the academy, find the spirits break down somewhere. You do not need to approach it from this way. You can if you want. If you want to complete every last torrent jumping puzzle in this game, then be my guest. But, alright, I think I've cleared out the rest of this ridge, so how about... I run away from the stomping sound that has occurred over there because I'm pretty sure it means the Red Wolf is seeing me. And then we end the video. Next time on Elden Ring, there's one small thing I would like to take care of in the immediate vicinity, but it's very small. We'll get it done in like 5 minutes. After that, a new region of the Lands Between awaits us. Thank you all for watching if you did, and as always, I will see you all in the future.